And been a great challenge the last 3 years, hasn't it, brother?
Oh, man.
I mean, building this 8-man team for the gospel there, and among functionally illiterate people, it's like we had to chuck everything we ever knew. You know, it's amazing to see how God put us together, and then how He got us in touch with this group up in Kansas City.
Yep.
And they have over 690 movements of the gospel, giving us this simple template when we were so frustrated. And God just opened up this great door. And so now we've got 8 guys. It's amazing to watch those 8 guys, but 2 have been stuck. So tell us how God has worked through that whole situation. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, so Gabriel and Franklin, we know, have been kind of just in the rut. They didn't know what to do. And they just decided out of the blue to go back into San Miguel. So they're driving, and they stop in Don Lee for a minute, and they run into Mario. And now, if you remember, Mario is the gentleman that has the daughter that was very ill, was in Don Lee in the hospital on her deathbed, but miraculously, God saved her, and she's back, and she's okay. And he's actually heading back to San Miguel with them. So just by this coincidence in this huge city, they catch up with Mario. So they all go back to San Miguel, and they're going to go to meet with Ulysses. And as they're talking and just starting to get into the Bible together, another gentleman, Victor, is walking by, comes in, sits down with them, and they just start having fellowship together. So now you have Mario, Victor, Ulysses all together, and they're talking and asking questions to each other. And then Ulysses' mother-in-law and wife come in, and there's some truths that are put on the table. These testimonies are being given, and Ulysses just falls to his knees, starts crying, and says to his mother-in-law, "Forgive me for all the wrongs I've done in the past." He's repenting for a lot of things that he's done to hurt them. She forgives him, and he looks at Franklin and Gabriel and says, "Will you please pray for me, because I want to give my life to Christ. There's something different about you 2 guys, and I don't know what it is, but I want that." And Victor at that moment says the same thing. "I've noticed it also. I too want to give my life to Christ." Wow. And so they pray. They just all pray together. And Mario and his wife also just, "I want to give my life to Christ." So they all pray together, and they do this Discovery Bible study, and they're just asking each other questions. And there's this movement. And Gabriel and Franklin are just awestruck by it. So the next morning, they're getting ready to leave, and Mario comes to them and says, "We were actually in Don Lee because we wanted to buy a Bible." And Franklin says, "Hold on," and reaches into his backpack and says, "I have one. Here, y'all can have it. Why don't y'all start reading the Bible together?" And he says, "We definitely will." So God is causing this movement, getting this whirlwind of people together, and it doesn't stop there. As they're deciding to leave to go back home, they decide they're going to stop in and visit with Alexis, another one of our key men here. And they show up unannounced, and Alexis has 3 friends, Marvin Jr. and Walter, all together with his wife and kids, and they're doing a Discovery Bible study. And Alexis' wife says, "Why didn't you tell me they were coming?" And he's like, "Because I didn't know." Right? So it's a very simple procedure of just reading together, asking questions, bringing fellowship together, and it's being done now. And Franklin and Gabriel both say to me, "I've never seen this happen before. This is amazing. I can't wait to do it again." Something is taking hold of these men that were stuck in a rut for so long that now they're eager to get back into the village and continue doing these studies with these men.
You know, the Lord is at work, folks. In a marvelous way, with an indigenous movement of the gospel, and we're seeing the beginnings of it. Thank you for standing alongside of us. Keep praying for us as we watch God at work in this village.